No nonsense gin drinking. All gin, no nonsense.
Hello gin lovers, welcome back. I'm Bobby Freeman and today my friends we come live from my mum's, well not live, pre-recorded from my mum's house in, probably won't tell you where it is because some of the people that watch this show will be knocking on her door. Now unfortunately the lighting in here is not quite as good as I thought it was going to be because I didn't bother bringing my studio lights with me, but I think you can probably forgive me that. Also there's going to be a few little things wrong with it, like I can't quite fit the gin in the video and my head at the same time. So I'm kind of working with kind of what I've got at the moment, but I don't think you'll mind. And if you do, well, there's not really much I can do about it at the moment, I'm afraid. So let's just crack on with the show and tell you what we've got today. We've got this little fellow. I shall pull him up from the bottom of the screen. Feasteth your eyes upon Nolet's Dry Gin. I think it's Nolets or Nolets or Nolet. Maybe it's a silent T. Might be a French or Nolet. I don't know. Anyway, whatever it is, it has been recommended by a lot of you guys who've been getting in touch, commenting on the videos. Loads of people, so many people seem to be saying, have you tried Nolets yet? Have you tried Nolets yet? And I say, no, I have not. Well, now I say I have. Well, not yet, but I'm going to in a minute anyway. And I always think to myself, when so many people recommended it, it must be good. And in the past, it has always proven successful. So let's get stuck into this little fellow, find out find out what it's all about on the old website, shall we? Nolet's Silver Gin is crafted, sorry, I forgot to give it its full title. It's Nolet's Silver Gin. Crafted with over 330 years and 11 generations of the Nolet family distilling tradition and expertise. Nolet's Silver is a fresh and surprising take on gin, featuring real botanicals, there's a novelty. Real botanicals of fragrant rose, juicy succulent peach and slightly tart raspberry. Extra care is taken to individually macerate and then distill each botanical used in Nolets. The gin base and botanical extracts are then married and allowed to rest in order to fully integrate the botanical flavours. Yes, we know about all that. That's just called making gin. Nolet's Silver Gin is bottled at 47.6% ABV. Now that is very interesting because that's very close to the old number 3. It's not behind me, of course. It would be in my usual studio, but I was going to say it's very close to the number 3, which I believe was 46%. In which case, yeah, it's fairly close. Well, ish. Which is always a good sign with gins. And also, coupled with these, I'm quite surprised by those. I don't know why. I think it's got a rather mundane sort of exterior. It's gone for the classic green bottle, which, as we know, many other gins like to, including our friends Gordon's, or not so much our friends Gordon's, but you know, Gordon's. And indeed, the classic Tanqueray. So it kind of surprised me to hear of succulent peach, tart strawberry and rose. So the kind of the bottle does not give away, does not belie the flavours from within, to speak in a rather pretentious way. So my friends, I say we fanny around no longer. This table's a little bit unstable, more unstable than my desk I've got in the studio. I should have to be careful with that, especially if I break it. My mum will be most unpleased. Anyway, let's crack them open and see what she tastes like, shall we? So then, I don't believe there's a cork involved here. No, it's just a screw top. But I tell you what, it's a very heavy lid, which to me screams quality. But to be honest, does it really matter? Not really. Actually, you know what? I think it does. I think a quality lid is a good start to a quality gin. But we know it doesn't matter. Oh no, it's not the cork test, is it? I'll do it anyway. It's just a bit of fun. Jeez, just put a dent in my mum's table. Right then, let's get it in my mum's rather sort of sleek tumbler here. Sleek tumbler, good name for a band that, isn't it? Right, here we go. Get that in there. I wonder how good it is for tasting. Sorry, for sniffing and for tasting as well. Well, let's find out the first. Here we go, nose going in and... I think it's taken a while to travel up the tumbler. It's quite a length, this tumbler, isn't it? Quite an impressive length. Hang on a second. I'll be honest, smells good. But I'd say just smells like gin. I was expecting something a little bit more different, a little bit kind of unique and quirky, given those unique and quirky botanicals. Hang on a second, maybe if I get it a bit further along, this is high risk now. Hang on, see if I can smell it directly. Hang on. Oh God, it's got in my moustache. Shit. Okay, I'm going to be smelling this for the rest of the day now because it has infused my rather light moustache. There's just a tiny a hint of a moustache there. I've been growing it for several years. And this is a first on the show. I shall be now sniffing it via the medium of moustache. No, it doesn't make any difference. It just kind of smells like gin. Pretty good gin to me. It smells pretty nice, but I was kind of hoping for a little bit more hints of the old unique things that we talked about in the old website. But never mind. Let's marry it up with the tonic and see how she fares, shall we? My mum's not going to like. I usually chuck stuff over there, but my mum's not actually here at the moment, so I'll do it anyway. I'm going to be in trouble. So, oh my God, I'm covered in gin. It's all over my moustache, my hands and everything. So let's make a little tiny gin and tonic. Oh! Think I might have drowned it. Let's pep it up a little bit more. Here we go. Oh yes, now we're talking. So here we go. As always, thank you very much to all my patrons and my YouTube members who are literally paying for the gin. This is Nolet's Dry Silver Gin. I say to everybody, cheers. Sorry about that, it's just the acoustics in my mum's large living room here. Makes me sort of, makes me want to break into song. And you know what? It's my show and God damn it, if I want to break into song, I shall break into song. Oh, damaging my mum's table again. Anyway, some of you are probably wondering what the actual gin tastes like. Wow. Let me have another quick go. Hold on a second. Oh. Now then, gin lovers, that is more like it. What it lacked in individuality, that sounds disgusting, individuality, it certainly makes up for in the taste, because you're getting all that kind of sweet peachiness and those raspberries. Would I say it's a tart raspberry? Would I describe it as a tart raspberry? If you don't know what tart is, I think it's a British word, tart. It means kind of almost a bit kind of sour, a bit zingy, you know, those sort of like candy sweets you get, they're a bit like sort of, a bit like that. To be honest, no, but I'm not sure it's a bad thing, because I quite like raspberries just sort of not that tart. I don't think a raspberry should be tart. Rhubarb should be absolutely tart. Raspberry, not tart. But what I'm trying to say is those two flavours are coming through beautifully. You've got a lovely core gin base in there, a nice waft of sort of wafting bed of juniper. A wafting bed of juniper sounds quite comfortable, doesn't it? A wafting, wallowing bed of juniper with kind of, let me see how the journey goes. Here a second. Oh yeah. Soon as it goes in the mouth, there we go. I was wondering where the rose was going to come into it, and that comes along afterwards in the aftertaste. So as soon as you go in there, it's like a pop, fizz, and a crackle, and a woof, a lifting sensation of this beautiful, just a light peachiness, not too heavy. Peaches, I would never eat a peach. I've never looked at a peach and thought, that looks nice. Looks like a little hairy testicle or something, bristly testicle, not a hairy testicle. I'm regretting using the testicle metaphor now, to be honest. But you know what I mean? Slightly downy, furry thing. I don't want to be eating it right. However, put it in a drink. I'm quite a big fan of it. I think that's nice, but they've used it very, very lightly. In fact, it even made Gordon's made a white peach one. It was one of the few Gordons I actually enjoyed, if I remember rightly, unless I remember wrongly, in which case I'm going to look like an ignoramus. But it used it very, very lightly. It kind of lightly sort of floats in there. And the raspberry kind of, I'd say it's sort of tinging around the edges, sort of slightly melding with the peach, but quite intelligently as well. And when all that's done, when it's gone down the hatch, then that's when you get the slight rose aftertaste. And to be honest, a lot of people like rose in their drinks. I'm not a big fan of it. I'd probably, in an ideal world, I'd probably take that rose away, but it's not by any means taking away from the enjoyment of the drink. It's very, very nice. Just with a slight tinge at the end, which I'm not that keen on, but you know, there are bigger things to worry about in this world. So then, let's give her a go neat. Here we go. Oh man, it's very rosy. Especially if you inhale it. Much stronger in rose, I'd say. Hits you a little bit harder. One thing I don't get, hang on. One thing I didn't get with the gin and tonic, it didn't taste particularly strong, which is interesting because it is quite a bit stronger than your sort of standard strength gins. But you definitely get it when you're having it neat. I think my neat gin viewers, of which there are many, you are going to really like that because that's a real sting. I can still feel it tingle in the tongue. And then the other two flavours, the rose and the tart raspberry, not so much. not so much. It's more about the rose, which makes me firmly decide that it is definitely, as is most of the time on this show, definitely a gin und tonic, as they say in Germany. I don't know why I slip into German occasionally like that. It's very strange, but I do happen to know that a few of my German viewers actually quite like it. So you are welcome. What's you are welcome in German? Dankeschön. It's the closest I can get, I'm afraid. Anyway, I digress. What, I hear you say, although perhaps not in quite such a pretentious way, what is it going to cost to get something that kind of a little bit special, a little bit unique, that is the Nolet gin? Well, I shall tell you, my friends. It's going to cost you quite a bit, okay, because this varies, okay, but here in the UK, it was hovering around the £60 mark. Now, luckily, I did a bit of what I like to call weaseling, which is where you sort of very thriftily sort of shop around and find a better price. And now I found it for £50. However, that's still a lot of money for a gin. That is way up there in the price bracket, and it actually is available in America. I saw it on an American website for $42.99. So that's not too bad, actually. That's kind of more in the bracket we're looking at, and I think it was about around 50 euros as well. So depending on where you are, if you're unlucky enough to be here in the UK, it's going to cost you a fair old packet. However, if you're in the US, you guys are lucky because it looks to be a fairly decent price for what is pretty good gin. So guys, to sum up, I'm quite glad we've got a sort of a nice unique gin today because we have a unique setting in which I film my video. So I would say this is, it's kind of, I really enjoy drinking it and I really like the uniqueness of it. I think the use of those two flavors are very, very good, very expertly done, and you won't see them many places. Maybe, there was another gin and I've forgotten its name. Xavier Gin, made by the very nice guys there, who I met at Junipalooza the other week. Theirs was a little bit like this because it had a real sort of, I'd describe it as a rambunctious mixture of flavours and fruits. I'd say, if anything, it's kind of a little bit like that, which is always a good thing because that was a great gin. However, as I say, if you're in the UK, it's kind of offset a little bit by the price. I'd say, is it worth going that high to get it? If you can spare it, yeah, go for it. Why not? If it's stretching your pocket a little bit, I'd probably say don't worry, because no gin is worth spending a lot of money on. However, if you're in America or anywhere else where it is reasonably priced, you bloody well go for it, because that's a decent price and it's a more than decent gin. In fact, I'd say it's a very excellent gin. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video today. Apologies about the kind of the slightly weird lighting. I look a bit strange, and the framing of the video and everything. As I say, there's not much I can do about it. I should have thought, given it a bit more thought and brought my studio lights with me. But anyway, you know, we're working with what I've got, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And of course, if you have enjoyed it, don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, press the little like button on the video, and of course the old notification button so you get notified when my new videos come out. And if you want to support the channel, if you felt so kind and wonderful and selfless as to support poor old Freeman here so I can fix my leaky roof on my studio back home, please head over to my Patreon page, or indeed click the join button below this here video to join my YouTube members. But until next time, guys, from my mother's house, take care, stay safe. Thank you to all my, I was about to go in a bit early for the salute there. Take care, stay safe. Thank you to all my patrons and my members. And of course, keep drinking the gin.